Today I'm going to share with you my 5 top audio VST plugins actually worth investing in. I'm Will from EDM Tips, and in this video I'm going to share with you my 5 best premium plugins worth investing in that will give you results over and above what you could possibly achieve with your stock plugins. Now these are the exact plugins that I've used to create music that has been Grammy shortlisted, topped the download charts and hit the top of the list in the Spinning Records talent pool. So is it worth it? Can you actually get a truly pro sound with your stock plugins? I think you can get to about 85 to 90% of the way there using stock plugins, but investing in a few choice premium VST audio plugins for that last 10% is crucial. Now there's a caveat, don't think these plugins are going to make your music sound good if it's bad. They will not fix bad music, they will only help bring good music up to that next level. Don't forget to give this vid a thumbs up and share it, and thank you for subscribing. Okay, let's get to it. So we are going to be looking at my forthcoming track with Natalie Conway called Don't Wanna Lose, and it's due to be released very soon and I shall keep you posted. So the first plugin, or first type of premium plugin that I recommend, is some kind of premium third-party synth like Sylenthl or Serum, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Because of course you can make really cool sounds in the stock plugins that you get in your DAW, but I like having a third-party premium plugin because a couple of reasons. They are fast and they're fun and they look good, so I love the way that Sylenthl looks. You know, I can use all the controls, it looks like a real synth. I like that personally. Also, you get loads of presets, premium presets that are always being released in places like Splice and ADSR, and that means you can use inspiration from these patches and presets that you buy. Now, if you're still hung up about using presets as a starting point, get over it. If you were having eggs for breakfast, you wouldn't insist on going out and buying a chicken so it would lay the eggs, right? People spend their livelihoods creating sounds for producers to use, so let them do the hard work and use the presets. And yeah, that's why I recommend having at least one premium plugin that you love and you value because you paid money for it, and you get to know every part of it, you get to know inside out. A rompler like Nexus is also really popular for EDM producers. I've never actually used it, so I can't speak from experience, but yeah, Nexus is supposed to be absolutely good. Absolutely good? You can do better than that, Will. Okay, number 2. Some kind of auto-tune. Now, if you're doing any work with dry vocals, this is really important because I found that that's one of the places that DAWs lack in terms of stock plugins. So I use a plugin called Melodyne, which is pretty industry standard. It's quite pricey, but if you are doing any work with vocalists or they're sending you dry vocals, I recommend it. So here we can see, you can see where you can actually grab and move the vocals. So I love Melodyne. I mean, this works great for me. Antares Autotune is another industry standard. Again, it's quite pricey, especially if you're just doing this for fun or a hobby, but that is something that I haven't been able to replicate in a stock plugin. I know that Waves do a much cheaper Autotune, which I actually had to play with, and that's pretty good, so you could check that out. Now, number 3, and this is something that everyone needs, and that is a decent premium saturator. Because I mean, there are a couple of good free ones, like Softtube's saturation knob is good, but I tell you what, it's not as good as Soundtoys Decapitator. I use that a lot, and the other one I use on almost everything, let's see if I've got one here, is the Kush Audio Omega. And they've got a few models. This is the one that I use. It was actually recommended to me by Hyperbits and another producer called Zach. And it just adds more volume, adds more body without increasing the peak amplitude of the sound. And I use saturation on drums, I use saturation on vocals, on synths. It just gives a warm analog feel. So you can hear how thicker and louder it sounds with that transformer on. So I cannot overstate the importance of getting a decent saturator, at least one decent one. As I say, I love this Kush Audio one. I've been using the Soundtoys Decapitator for a few years now, and again, that is a killer. So those are good options. So my essential premium plugin number 4 is a stereo imager. So in your DAW, you've got panning left and right, obviously, and you've got auto panners and all that stuff. But stereo width can change otherwise narrow sounds into very wide sounds. And you can use other techniques like the Haas effect, and I'll link to a video for a few more stereo widening techniques, so check that out. But a really decent stereo imager can make a huge difference, and it's really hard to replicate with any stock plugins. So here we have got this yeah sound in the track. So let's turn on the Ozone Izotope stereo imager, and you have to be listening to this in stereo to kind of understand it. But yeah, so this is with it on, and this is with it off. So you can hear there's a massive difference, and it doesn't cause phase cancellation issues that the Haas effect sometimes can. And what happens when we apply one of these bad boys over the whole mix? Again, this is the Ozone 8 Izotope stereo imager. And you can see it's split into 4 different bands, so we can make the sub frequencies nice and narrow and spread out the upper frequencies. And you can see here how wide it's getting. So this is off, and this is on. So that is an absolute essential if you want to get that last 10% of kind of pro quality on your tracks. Number 5, this is the plugin that I think has the biggest impact. If you get a good one of these plugins, that I haven't seen a stock plugin that can really stand up to this. And that is a decent, here's the drum roll, a decent limiter. So there are a couple that I recommend. The Sony Oxford or Sonnox limiter is absolutely great, and I think you don't even need a separate iLok key anymore. You can just buy it and use the iLok license online activation. And the other really good limiter that is out at the moment is the FabFilter Pro L2. You just can't get a patch on the loudness and the clarity with, say, the Ableton limiter that comes as stock as one of these. So it's worth spending, you know, $100 or $150 on a really good limiter, even before any of those other ones that I've covered in this list today. I mean, let's have a quick listen to the difference. So here, to make things easier on my processor and also to make it more easy to see and hear, here we have got the mix down of Don't Wanna Lose by me, Will Darling, featuring Nat Conway. And we have got one running through an Ableton limiter and one running through the FabFilter Pro L2s. And you've got to have good headphones to really tell the difference. But as I said, this is kind of the last 10%. So if you haven't been producing for long, you might not be able to tell the difference. But anyway, let's give it a go. So here's the Ableton limiter. 7.7. Distorted. And this is the Pro L2. So let's listen to the difference again. This is the Pro L2 first. And now the Ableton. The clicks, the claps, the transients are clearer on the Pro L2. Again, you might not be hearing so much difference, but for me in these headphones, I really can. And I've also made sure that it's a very good mix down beforehand. But yeah, having a premium limiter is, for me, one of the best investments in premium plugin that you can make. And there you have it, guys, my 5 top premium plugins to invest in. Let me know what you think of this video. Am I chatting breeze, or do you agree with what I'm saying? Let me know your top plugins below this video, and I will read and reply to every comment I can. If you want to learn more about getting a really pro sound, you can download my free mixing cheat sheet below this video for free. Once again, thanks for subscribing, and until next time, cheers and happy producing.